The sky tore open like fire. A black pod exploded through Earth's upper atmosphere, spinning, burning, screaming against gravity. Inside, Kaela's eyes snapped open. Blood floated beside her in zero gravity. Her suit was torn. Her chest heaved. She wasn't alone. Something thudded against the outside hull, claws dragging metal. Her breath caught. She looked at the small glass window. A shape clung to the pod-long limbs, sharp mandibles, glowing blue eyes. Not human. Not anything Earth. Should know. Sirens flashed on Earth below. Satellites caught the object too late. A military radar station locked on. Unidentified re-entry heading straight for Nevada. Kaela grabbed the cockpit handles. Not their ... not Earth. But it was too late. The pod slammed through. Clouds, trailing fire like a comet. Alarms blared inside as the creature outside began tearing its way in. She had minutes. Maybe less. The ground rushed up as she blacked out. The last thing she saw wasn't Earth. It was a second pod falling behind hers. Twice as large. Twice as fast. They were coming. And she was the only warning Earth had. Kaela woke on cold steel. Blinding lights burned her eyes. A dozen Earth soldiers pointed rifles at her head. She didn't flinch. Inside a deep underground base, U.S. military officers and scientists gathered behind glass, staring at the woman who fell from the sky. Her suit was torn, her skin bruised, but her voice was steady. "I'm not your enemy," she said calmly. "But they are." General Harlow leaned forward. "Who's they?" She looked up. "The Dravanti. They hunt living things for sport. They destroyed 5 planets on just the latest game." The room went silent. "Why Earth?" someone asked. Kaela's eyes darkened. "Because I crashed here. Now they'll come for everything." Laughter broke out from one side of the room. "Aliens? Monsters? Lady, this isn't a movie." Then the feed cut. Every satellite went dark. GPS failed. Global radar turned to static. A voice came over the base intercom, but it wasn't human. Deep, clicked, predatory, "Return our prey, or be hunted with her." The laughter stopped. Kaela stared at the ceiling, breathing hard. "They've already arrived," she whispered. Earth wasn't ready. Within hours of Kaela's warning, Earth's skies changed, one by one. Global satellites stopped responding. GPS systems crashed. Planes rerouted. Space stations lost all contact. Every major defense grid offline. NORAD screens flashed red. A single blurry image came through before blackout. A massive half-visible ship floating above the Pacific Ocean, covered in storm clouds that didn't exist 5 minutes earlier. "Is that real?" a technician whispered. General Harlow stared. "It's cloaked, but it slipped. Just for a second." Kaela, still locked in containment, screamed through the glass. "That's not their ship. That's their nest. They've already spread." The next report came from Tokyo. A cargo vessel found a drift crew missing. Only blood remained. Then, Hawaii military base offline, no survivors. Still, world leaders hesitated. No one wanted to believe Earth had been invaded silently. No one wanted war with something they didn't understand, but Kaela knew. They want fear first, confusion second, then they hunt. In orbit, something else flickered, a second smaller. Object began falling toward Earth. Not a ship, a Dravanti soldier, fully armed. Fully ready. And very, very hungry. At 2:14 a.m., Earth launched its first counterattack. 3 elite strike teams trained to fight anything were dropped near the Pacific anomaly. Stealth gear, EMPU rounds. Zero fear. Their last transmission. "We see movement. Multiple contacts." "What the hell is that?" Then silence. Drone footage showed only black smears across the jungle floor. No bodies, no heat signatures. Just ... Gone. Back at the base, Kaela watched the screens shut down one by one. Her hands shook. "They sent trackers," she said. General Harlow turned. "What are trackers?" Kaela stared straight at him. They don't just hunt. They erase. No sound, no light, no remains. If they've been released, you've already lost 3 cities. Moments later, Los Angeles lost power. All of it. Cameras. Caught a shadow slipping through concrete walls. Alarms blared. Guards fired. The bullets passed through the thing like smoke. It reached one of them and unmade him. Not a wound, just dust. News anchors tried to explain. Bioweapon? AI? Terror attack? No doubt these weren't weapons. They were alive. Kaela whispered. They're learning your defenses. Next, they'll test your leaders. And then they'll start the real hunt. Kaela sat alone in the cold cell, eyes locked on the floor. Outside the glass, Earth's top minds argued over what to do: nukes, evacuations, negotiations. None of it would work. Not against the Dravanti. Mason. Ward, a military AI specialist, walked in. Young, sharp, brave enough to ask her the truth. Why are they chasing you? Kaela looked up, quiet, then said 2 words: the seed. She lifted a small device from under her suit. Shaped like an orb, glowing with slow, pulsing light. Alive. It's not just data, she said. It's a living eye older than the Dravanti. It holds their secrets, their origin, their weakness. I stole it. Mason backed away. Why bring it to Earth? I didn't mean to. My ship was hit mid-jump. I crashed here. And now Earth is a target. The seed pulsed faster. Kaela's voice dropped. They're not just here to kill me. They want to erase the seed. Wipe every timeline where they lose. Mason frowned. Wait, timeline? Kaela nodded. They don't just hunt through space. They hunt through time. Earth wasn't just caught in the crossfire. It was standing where they once lost. In a hidden chamber beneath. Washington, D.C., Earth's top defense leaders sat in silence. Too many cities had gone dark. Too many soldiers vanished. The Dravanti didn't speak, didn't threaten. They only took. So Earth made a decision. Give them what they want. General Harlow stood against it. You betray humanity for what hope they stop. They won't. But the others had already acted. Kaela woke in chains. A tranquilizer in her arm. The seed gone. She was loaded onto a black transport ship headed toward the Pacific. The flight commander said nothing. His orders were simple. Deliver her. And don't look back. Mitter, Kaela stirred, weak but aware. You think they'll thank you? She croaked. They won't even let you scream. 30 minutes later, the signal was lost. The transport vanished. No crash, no explosion. Just silence. Then the seed reactivated. Back at Earth Command, every major general received a file. Video footage. The men they thought they'd sent Kaela to. They weren't Dravanti, they were copies, perfect human replicas, wearing their uniforms, speaking their languages, and they were already inside Earth's defenses. Kaela hadn't just been a target, she was their test. And Earth had just failed. The first attacks came from inside. Soldiers guarding Earth's defense centers suddenly opened fire on their own teams. Pilots flew ships off course. Officers issued strange, deadly commands. But these weren't traitors. They weren't even human. Mason Ward ran into the control room, his hands shaking. They've started replicating us perfectly, the seed confirmed it. Dravanti spores had scanned Kaela's DNA years ago. Now, with Earth's sample pool wide open, they were building a ghost army, human in shape, alien in mind. Your species is emotional, Kaela said, back on her feet. The Dravanti used that. They twist it. Video spread of loved ones returning from the dead. A mother hugging her son until her face split open. Fear exploded. Nations fell silent. No one knew who to trust. Mason made a choice. He broke Kaela out. They fled to a hidden underground AI vault in Alaska, the only system still dark, still offline, still clean. There, with the seed in hand, Kaela showed him the last hope. An old Dravanti wormhole gate. If they could hijack it, Earth could strike back, but the risk was clear. To stop the invasion, they have to enter the enemy's past and destroy their future. Earth's final hope was ready. From the secret vault, Mason activated the seed's power. It unlocked coordinates deep in space, far beyond anything Earth had reached. A fleet of ships, Strike Fleet Orion, prepared to jump through a wormhole. Scientists called it a one-way mission. Kaela stood on the command bridge, eyes fixed on the swirling portal. "This is it," Mason said. "We go to their homeworld. We strike first." But Kaela's voice was cold. "That's not their home. It's their graveyard." She explained how the coordinates pointed to a long-abandoned battlefield, the place where the Dravanti first lost their war, a dead world, where their species nearly vanished. Earth was not attacking the enemy's heart. They were luring them into a trap. The fleet leapt through the wormhole. Silence followed. Back on Earth, tension gripped every city. No one knew if the fleet would return, but Kaela knew the real battle was about to begin. The Dravanti's fury was not a warning, it was a promise, and Earth was ready to make them pay. The Dravanti fleet charged through space, drawn by Earth's strike, but the coordinates were a trap set long ago. As the enemy ships entered the dead world's orbit, an ancient defense system hidden for centuries activated. Energy barriers flashed. Wormholes collapsed. Ships were caught in a web of light and sound, torn between dimensions. Kaela and Mason watched from the command deck. "It's working," she said, voice tight. "The seed unlocked their past. They're stuck in a time loop trapped where they first died." The Dravanti soldiers screamed across space, desperate and confused. Their ships shattered as the wormhole imploded. On Earth, the skies cleared. Satellites flickered back to life. Communications returned. The nightmare was over, or so it seemed. Kaela looked up at the stars, her heart heavy. "They vanished from time," she whispered. "But the universe remembers." The war had ended, but the scars would last forever. The stars were silent. No ships, no shadows, no more hunters. Kaela walked through Earth's forests, breathing the fresh air like it was a new language. The war was over, but the cost was heavy. Cities rebuilt, families mourned. She wasn't Earth's savior, just a survivor. But something had changed. Humans had fought back together. Now Kaela stood on the edge of a new life. She could leave, return to the stars she barely remembered, or stay. Her fingers brushed the small orb, the seed, glowing softly in her palm. "I helped save a planet that wasn't mine," she whispered. The wind answered. Earth was her home now, and she would protect it. No matter the cost. Behind her, the night sky flickered. A quiet promise hung in the air. The hunt was over, but the story was just beginning.